Vivian here. Hi, next to change, Vivian here. Are you being distracted or are you making progress in your life? Sometimes you can be distracted and not even be aware that the distraction is there. Anything that you don't benefit from is a distraction. Anything that's not serving you is a distraction. And what do I mean by benefiting or serving you? So you do a lot of things in life, and the things that you do are either helping you in your evolution as a person, or it's distracting you. It's detracting from the things that you really need to do to, you always hear people say maximizing your potential, but really to grow and to flourish as a person, right? You want to continue to evolve. You want to continue like a flower to bloom, like, an onion to remove all those different layers to come to the true you and understanding who you are and understanding what your potentials and your gifts and your talents are and what is it that you are going to deposit in this world before you leave. So anything that you don't benefit from, it's hindering that, is a distraction. So some examples would be television. If you watch a lot of television, it could be distracting you from what you really need to do. It could be distracting you from positivity, from productivity. It could be distracting you by depositing erroneous beliefs, media hype. It can take you off course. A lot of those drama shows, you can get caught up in all these media things, the housewives of this or not to pick on any one show, but those are just examples. You get caught up in the lives of celebrities, and that begins to be your topic of conversation. What you're seeing on television. And it's nothing wrong with entertainment, but everything in moderation. So, is TV a distraction for you? Instead of TV, you could be getting knowledge and experience. Okay. The other thing that could be distracting you is people who aren't well adjusted. Who are people that aren't well adjusted? Well, people who have a lot of vices. It doesn't mean you don't like them, because we all have things that we're working on. But there are people that have vices and don't have any intentioning of self-correcting. That could be a distraction. People who are, maybe they're hooked on the television drama. Maybe they're hooked on gossip, or maybe they have a lot of evil intentions that they put out into the world. All of that, those are people who are not well adjusted. Maybe they're couch potatoes. They don't do anything in their own lives to better themselves, their family, or anyone else. And I'm, mostly talking about people who are, not retired, because you have people who are retired and, they're in their senior years, and so they might spend a little more time doing leisure activities. But even then, there's something you should be benefiting from them, whether it's, you're feeling belongingness or connectedness to them. But even them, if they're not well-adjusted people, it could really be a distraction for you. Drugs. Drugs is something drugs are something that I believe are compensatory for wholeness. I think that if you're in a state of wholeness, you won't depend on drugs to bridge any gap for you. So if that's you and you're addicted to drugs, or you're using drugs to do something that you could do yourself if you worked at it, that could be a distraction. Getting high all the time. Some people get high all the time, but getting high all the time is a distraction for some people. Some people can drink and function and do all those things, but everybody can't. So look at that and see if it's benefiting you. If your leisurely entertainment or your leisurely habits, are those things benefiting you? Basically, are you the better for it? Slothfulness is another, of course, a distraction, because slothfulness, procrastination, all that, of course, we know that it's stopping productivity. So that in itself is distracting. You don't benefit from slothfulness. What about your beliefs? Do you have limiting beliefs? Do you believe that, there are factors outside of yourself that could stop you from being a better person, to stop you from evolving, to stop you from bettering yourself every day? If you believe that, that's a limiting belief, because everyone can be better regardless of what they appear to be on the outside. Everyone can do something to be better and to better themselves every day. And then, of course, ego. Ego is a very big distraction. And what I mean by ego is your false self. That's when I say ego, I'm talking about your false self. The person that you try to imitate, that is a distraction. You don't benefit by imitating other people. Or the person that you're really not, but you build a facade of what you think you should be, instead of letting yourself materialize, so to speak, as who you are. So your ego versus your true self. So your ego is a distraction. You want to do something, but you're afraid of failure because you're afraid of what people might think, because you're afraid of being embarrassed. All that is your ego. Your true self is not afraid of being embarrassed. Your ego, is afraid of being embarrassed. Your ego is afraid that somebody might find out you have a weakness or you have this, so you don't even dare to try. Your ego is the one that thinks, I am this, and I am this, and I am great, and I am this. A lot of that will stop you. It'll distract you. If you already think you've arrived, there's no room for you to grow. So anything that you don't benefit from is a distraction. It could be a terrible job that you feel like you're stuck in. It could be a relationship that you feel like you're stuck in. All of those things are distractions. And remember, you have to find out for yourself what your sole purpose is. You came to this earth, you've been born, there's a reason. What is that reason? You're a soul on this planet. How did you get to be on this planet? What is it that you feel the need in your heart to accomplish? So what is the purpose and meaning? And sometimes you find all those things out as you strive to know yourself better and to just become more of what you are, but better. So you ask that question, am I the better for it? That's my question that I use. If I go into a meeting, when I come out, I ask myself, am I the better for it? Am I the better for having gone to this meeting? And if the answer is no, then I'm going to try to avoid those meetings. Or if it's something that I can't avoid, I'm going to try to do something else in those meetings. or people that you hang out with. When you leave, am I the better for it? Am I the better for hanging out with this person? Am I the better for having this conversation? Is this friendship that I have, am I the better for it? And you have to ask yourself those questions. And, hopefully just like you are looking for things to help you with your evolvement, hopefully you're a person that deposits goodness in the situations that you come in contact with, if you can, because sometimes you can't because the situation or the people won't allow you to make that deposit. But remember, ask yourself that, am I the better for it? When people invite you to go places, when they invite you to do these, am I the better for it is the question. So remember, if people aren't helping you evolve, they're a distraction. If you're not benefiting from it, you're a distraction. And while it may not be harmful, it may not be helpful either. So just remember, live a balanced life. That doesn't mean you don't get any leisure. But even when you get leisure, and even if you get your favorite entertainment, you are benefiting from it. You listen to your music. It makes you feel happy, or it makes you feel good, or it does something for you, or it relaxes you. Or, laying on the sofa is something that you need to do because you're working hard and you need that break and you need to center yourself in a restful state. So there are some things that don't seem productive, but they are, but only you know what you're benefiting from and if you're the better from it. So this is Vivian, Next to Change, and remember, you be the next to change.